As people pop on. We've got some recognition.
I'll go first. Mine's really quick. I just want to recognize Maggie is on our call tonight. She is thinking about coaching and just wanted to hop on and see what our calls are about. Welcome, Maggie.
Hey girl, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Who else has any recognition? Anyone? I just wanted to shout out the morning crew because y'all have been consistent AF on the Zoom link. Keep up the great work. It just makes it so much more fun to see more people on there. So
I want to shout out Hannah. I don't think she's here. I was just looking. She's pushing really hard to reach air mode by next Thursday. So shout out Hannah.
Awesome work. Any other recognition? Oops. All right, I'm going to run through some quick announcements and then we'll get started because we have actually 5 awesome coaches speaking tonight. I want to make sure that we give each of them some time, but also maximize our time and not overdo it tonight because I know y'all are busy and pushing for big Success Club goals. So who's tried the 30-day breakaway sample workout this week? Anybody else sore as heck in places you did not think? If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. Remember that it's outside of the Beachbody platform, so y'all can share either the Vimeo link or actually the link from BOD. It's just in the header. So it's totally free. Send it to all your peeps. I was very shocked, and I am not a runner lover. So much like Amanda talked to us about it a couple weeks ago, do it. Be the leader of your team because your team's only going to do what you do. So if you're like, I'm not a runner, I'm not doing that program, nobody else is going to do it either, right? So walk the walk. Some other announcements, they added a search feature on Beachbody On Demand, which I think is super cool. If you guys haven't noticed, it's a lot easier to get to like recipes and nutrition stuff. So definitely make sure you're highlighting that in your challenge groups. I think a lot of times we forget how much content and just like resources are on there. And the meditation unstressed channel comes out next Monday. So if you haven't, who's tried the I am meditations or any of that on BOD? Like, so good. I am not someone who can sit and think a lot, but those 4 minutes are just perfect to get your day started. So more stuff is coming next Monday. And then last little reminder, this is a change that's coming September 30th for new coaches. In order for them to get their promo codes, they need to start a BOD group. So just remember that because you want them to get those promo codes. Check your breaking news. There's always good stuff there, lots to keep up with, but I just wanted to highlight those things. Mac, did you want us to remind people about the Success Club push? Anything with that?
Yeah, guys. So remember, you put your money in the pot and it's getting hot. So make sure you're working hard. I just said this on a previous call, and I just wanted to remind you guys too that, you know, sometimes you just have to look at your business and say, what do I need to do? And if you have to do a little bit more invites than what's on your tracker, do it. If you're not in Success Club yet, don't keep doing whatever you've done the first 16 days of the month. Double it, right? Like, you got to do what you got to do till it happens. And I think sometimes we're like, we end the month and we're like, well, I did the invites on my tracker 5 days a week, and I did the post every day, but nothing happened. And I connected with people, but I still didn't hit it. Dang. Like, that's not the mindset that you can have as a business owner. So I just want to remind everyone, it's the 16th of the month. I don't know what that was. I honestly have no idea. It's the 16th of the month, and wherever you are right now, ask yourself, what do you need to do to make this goal happen? Non-negotiable. And if that's double what you've already done this month to make it happen, do it. And you're going to be so proud of yourself, right? Like, do whatever it takes, you know, don't stop until you get there kind of mindset.
Cool. Thanks. Any other announcements or recognition from people that popped on? We'll get
I would love to just quickly call out my new coach, Caitlin. Caitlin Portman. Sorry, she got married recently. Anyway, want to call her out. Thank you for agreeing to be on a speaker on the call tonight. And also to the coaches who just like really openly with their hearts shared their whys on the call that we were on before this. Really proud of all of you guys because that takes guts sometimes to put yourself out there like that. But being able to do that in this safe space and in this team is just so huge. Also, 6 a.m. crew, you're literally keeping my business alive. So appreciate all of you on there. That's all. Bye.
Awesome. Anyone else? All right, cool. Well, I'm going to be your Vanna White tonight and not talk much, but we have 5 awesome coaches, Caitlin, Autumn, Nicole, Danica, and Allie. Hopefully y'all are all here. I think I've seen all of your faces. So I have a few questions we're going to go around, and I know you guys got them ahead of time, hopefully. What I'm going to do is have y'all all kind of touch base on the first question and just kind of introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, how you got into coaching. And then I figured based on what your coaches have told me about you, kind of feature each question so that we get all of you to speak and we make the most out of our time. So guys, each of these coaches, 2 of them are kind of comeback coaches. So they've been in the business maybe before or maybe didn't really get moving until recently. And then we have 3 brand new coaches speaking to y'all. So I'm going to do this alphabetically to make it super easy. So Autumn, you want to kick it off, girl? Tell us a little bit about you. How'd you get started? All that good stuff.
Hi, I'm Autumn. I started working out about 9 months ago. I actually signed up on a 2-week free trial, and it was because I was watching my then coach, who was a family friend, and my sister-in-law were doing the workouts, and they were like living their best life, getting so buff, losing weight, which I just needed to gain weight and gain muscle. That was my goal at the time and still is. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. So I signed up also, and I've been posting about it over the past 9 months, having people reach out to me like family and friends. And then my coach got switched over to Mackenzie, and Mackenzie kept reaching out to me, and she was like, girl, you're doing half the work. Like, let's do it. So at the time, my husband was deployed. He's in the military, and I have a son who's a year old, so I loved being home with him. And I was like, well, if this is going to get me an extra income and I can share with other people and bring them into my group and kind of just have like a little tribe, like a little group of people, or now it's growing, going to get a big group of people to add into this, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So here we are.
Thanks, girl. Allie, I guess you would have been first, but you know, this blonde, alphabetical, didn't really play by the rules.
That's okay. I thought we were going last name alphabetical, so it's totally fine. I was just doing it. So hi guys, I'm Allie. So 2 years ago, I've been doing Beachbody workouts for a long time. 3 years. Okay. So after I had my son Grayson about 2.5 years ago, I signed up as a discount coach, kind of dabbled in coaching a little bit, didn't do very much, just here and there, wasn't really committed to it. Took a long break, but still did Beachbody workouts. And then after about 2 months ago, probably, I reached back out to Danielle and said I wanted to commit again fully. I have been in love with the way the coaching process has been, and just reaching out to girls and like Autumn said, creating my tribe and helping other girls get the goals they desire.
Awesome. Danica, you're up.
Hi, so I'm Danica, and I have been doing Beachbody programs now for over 2 years. I started because I saw one of my best friends and roommate from college lose 120 pounds with Beachbody programs, and so I said, hey, if it can work for her, it can work for me. And so despite many years of personal trainers that weren't working and other nutrition programs I had tried, I gave it a shot, and I'm so glad I did, because since I started, I've lost 35 pounds with Beachbody. Before that, it was another 30 pounds. So it's been a great experience. And I did not start coaching until May of this year, though. I had started off, I didn't even know that there was such thing as a coach at first. It took me coming across a coach on the internet who had me join her, because I guess whoever I got placed under wasn't active. And so I was just really fortunate then later on to meet Jess through Instagram and connect with her, because I wanted to find a coach that I could really work closely with, because I had for quite a while been considering starting to work the business. I had been approached about it before, and I just at the time wasn't ready, but this year I just felt like the time was right. And I'm just so thankful that I did, because I saw how, especially the personal development side of things, and just how the community encourages everyone to become the best version of themselves. That is what has really drawn me in. It's something that I'm just so excited to share with others, and I loved my experience as a coach so far. So.
And word on the street is you're in the Control Freak test group.
That is accurate. Yes. So starting next week, I'm really, really excited. So.
Awesome, girl. So
Yeah.
excited. We're going to be
Thank you.
tell us all the things.
Yes.
All right, Caitlin, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, awesome. There you are.
Hi. So I'm Caitlin. I have been in the business for about 3.5 weeks. Very, very new, but I'm so happy to be here. This community is just one of the best things I've ever been a part of. It took a very long time for Maggie to reel me in. It's been about a 1.5-year process of getting me started. I was the person who you messaged and said, yes, I'm in, and then ghosted you for 2 months, which I'm not proud of. And so when people do that, or when people don't reply to me, I'm like, it's okay. Like, we'll come back around to it. But it has just been such a blessing to me to be a part of this community, as well as the people around me. I didn't realize how much I needed it, as well as my loved ones. As soon as I started with Beachbody, so I started 3.5 weeks ago. I didn't start as a discount coach. I started as an active coach, and that was my first experience with Beachbody. Which was awesome, because I got to just dive right in. I got to experience the challenge group that Maggie was holding, and got to really see how she was running her group, and then got to motivate my people the same way, which has just been incredible. I didn't realize how much the people around me needed it until I started posting, and they started calling me just crying and being like, how do I get involved? So I never am afraid to get vulnerable on social media now, because you never know who you're going to reach. And that's how I've been growing my business so quickly, because I've just been pouring my heart out, and it's been making such a difference. Even people at work, I signed my boss up. I signed, I'm a preschool teacher, so I signed my director up, signed my co-teacher up, signed my mom up, just people who I had never really thought of needing the big change in their life. It's just saving lives. So I'm so grateful for this business, for all of you, and to be able to learn all alongside you guys.
Thanks, girl. I love how we have such different experiences of y'all tonight. And so we have Nicole. Are you here?
Hey, I'm here. I'm
Yay.
sweaty. I just worked out, so sorry for that.
No worries.
I started with Natalie like a long time ago. When she first started coaching I was probably with her for 1.5 years. I was doing 21 Day Fix. It was right when the DVDs came out, so we're doing that. I had good results. I was a coach. I went emerald really quick, and then I went diamond in a push pot that somebody did in the team. And I was probably 6 months into the business with that. And then I'd say maybe a year went by, Natalie. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out my time frame. But it was summer of 2016, so that was 4 years ago. And I was supposed to go to Nashville for Summit. I was already signed up. I had a hotel room. I had all these things. I had all this planned out. And I ended up not going. I had like major anxiety about traveling all of a sudden, and I just stopped and I didn't go. So that took me down like a spiral. I was already spiraling from anxiety and things like that. And so it just went bad. And I felt like I couldn't be in the business because I wasn't in a good place with myself. And so I lost rank, and then I just stopped caring. I stopped posting, I stopped doing everything, and then I just left. And it was kind of abrupt. And then shortly after that, I moved home because I was in West Virginia at the time. So I moved back to Florida and got myself together, went back to school, did these things, got another degree, followed my dream of being a dietitian, which now I'm a dietitian. So I'm in a way better place. But about 3 months ago, I reached out to Natalie again because I knew what worked for me, which was shakes, working out, accountability with people. And when I did that, I was desperate. I had gained 30 pounds, which I've never done in my life. I had an IUD, and it took a turn for the worse for my hormones and me, like in general. So that was really rough. And so anyways, I reached out to Natalie, and I was in her VIP group for Muscle Burns Fat and the advanced group as well. And in that time frame, I've lost 4 pounds, so I'm excited about that. But in this last round with the advanced version, I lost 17 inches in total. So that was really awesome, and I'm so excited about it. And Natalie's just like, all right, you got to come coach. Like, what are you doing? So here I am, ready to do it. I'm in a better headspace, and I'm here for the ride. So that's my mini story.
Thank you for being so open. I think we don't talk about that stuff enough as coaches. Like, everybody is human on this team, right? So I love that you shared so openly about that, and I'm excited to dive more into that. So I have some questions that I figured I would, again, feature like 1 or 2 of y'all to answer. But of course, if anybody else wants to add anything, jump in, because y'all know this stuff better. So the first question is, what has been your mindset around Success Club? What piece of advice can you give to a coach struggling with it? And I figured this would be good for Allie and Danica, because Danica was a success starter, and she's helped like 12 or 14 people in the past 45 days. So whoever wants to chat first, go for it.
Go first. So I had just started coaching in May, and I, like I told Jess, when I commit to something, I'm going to do it hardcore. I'm not going to, just half-ass it. And so I jumped right in with the mindset that I was going to achieve Success Club each month. That was just a non-negotiable for me, because once I knew what it meant and what it was, I was ready to roll for it. And so especially, working towards, the goal of the test group and everything, that was a big motivating factor. But I have just really enjoyed the challenge each month and pushing myself. I loved the Team Cup last month. That was amazing. I will say that every month has been different so far. Every month I've had a different experience with achieving Success Club. So, achieving, Success Club. So the first month, it wasn't until the very end of the month. And but I hit Success Club 10 my first full month as a coach. Then the next month it was, kind of spread out. Last month I got like almost all of my points at the beginning of the month. And this month I'm having a lot of trouble because, a lot of people are, this is just a not right now time. for a lot of people. I'm a teacher also, and so I understand that, you know, for both families and teachers alike, there's just a lot of stress surrounding, you know, virtual instruction and everything that's going on. And so there's just, it is, or not right now time for a lot of people, but I'm not letting that deter me from pushing towards my goals. I'm making sure that I'm still reaching out to people. I'm taking those not right nows and making sure that I'm keeping track of who they are so that I can come back to them later whenever, you know, whenever the time is right for them. Building the trust that I need to build with those people, to connect with them. And I've loved that this has given me the opportunity to connect more closely with people who were acquaintances before, reconnect with friends from, you know, just from other times in my life. So it's just been really awesome. And I'm loving, you know, getting to work so closely with people and help them to achieve their goals. And people know when they sign up with me, you know, like that I'm committed to helping them no matter what. And I'm just very consistent with reaching out to them and making sure they feel supported. So that is very, I think has been very helpful because, you know, the word is spread. I've had people who've said, hey, you know, you should sign up with her because, you know, they're seeing good results. And so we want to make sure, you know, as you're working towards your goals, make sure that you're building those types of relationships with your customers as well, so that they know that you're there for them and that you're ready to support them through their fitness journey.
Love that. Walking billboards are key, y'all, because you never know who they refer to you. All right, Allie, maybe you can touch on if someone's struggling with Success Club, what would you tell them?
Yeah. So I'm going to piggyback what Danica said real quick. I have made kind of a non-negotiable with myself, Success Club 5 by ideally the 15th of the month in both my accounts. So my husband's account is under me as well. So that's the goal I've made that's non-negotiable. I'll make it work regardless. And like Danica said, having that mindset is huge and definitely helps you and helps to push you, because I'm a very goal driven person. So if I see, well, I need so many more people, then I'm gonna get it. It's gonna happen. So people that are struggling, I struggled the first go around. I kind of dabbled in coaching. I struggled a little bit and I wasn't being consistent. So I was working out, I was drinking my shakes, but people aren't in your house. They don't see you do it. So posting it on my stories has been huge. And I've reached out to girls and they've said, oh yeah, I see you. Like, I'm not ready now, but I see you crushing it on your stories and you're doing a great job, XYZ. So being consistent in posting is a big one, and has made a huge difference, I think, in my coaching journey.
Love that. I think that non-negotiable mindset is key, because if you think like, well, I could hit it or like I couldn't, guess what? You're not going to hit it, right? And I think both of them led with their hearts. Making it about people instead of points is so important. So I love that y'all both shared that. All right. Anyone else want to jump in on Success Club suggestions before we move to the next question? All right.
I wanted to share something real quick, actually. So last month I hit Success Club, and one of the things I did at the end is I was 1 point away. And so when I got to that point, I was like, this has to happen. So I kind of thought back to my friends, and I was like, I messaged one of them who prefers to go to the gym. She doesn't like home workouts. I think she's tried them. Her sister does Beachbody, but they just aren't for her right now at the time. And I said, hey, I'm finishing up enrollments. Do you want to try our performance pack? And I had like no enrollments, but I told her that, and she ended up getting it, and I ended up hitting Success Club that way. So one of the things I like to do is kind of put pressure on it, because I know that they're going to love the product anyways. So I'm like, hey, like, let's try it. Let's see if you like it. And so that's how I hit Success Club first month.
It's true. Sometimes you got to be creative, right? Like, you're not lying, but I think of that follow-up Friday, like Kenzie told us a few months ago. Do it every Friday and start a new group every Monday. Nobody knows if you're starting 5 people or 1 person, right? But that deadline is so key. So love that. Okay, next question. I figured actually, Autumn, this one I had down for you because it is, how do you overcome no's and keep going with your business when you feel like you keep hearing no over and over again?
So one of the biggest things is mindset, and I actually talk about mindset a lot on my Instagram throughout my posts because that's something that I've personally struggled with, not just with this business, just overall, is I do take things to heart a lot. But one of the things is I listen to the Upline podcast a lot, and he talks on there about how a lot of times when people say no, it's not right now. And so as she just was talking about that we're in a not right now phase, I feel like I've been getting that a lot. And one of the things he mentioned is that you can kind of message people and you can be like, hey, if this is just something you're totally not interested in, you can say something like, I'll just take you off my list. And so that kind of puts urgency on it. Like they're like, oh, I don't want you to go away for good. It's just like a not right now type of thing. But yeah, so really it just boils down to mindset for me personally. I just have to understand that I think that they'll just come around to it. So it's either it's not right now or they're just truly not interested. And either way, I'm still showing up. I'm still going to keep pushing my business. I'm still going to show up and do my workouts because I was doing it even when I wasn't a coach. So you telling me no is not going to make me sit in bed and not do my workout. I'm going to do it because I enjoy it. And I'm going to post about it because people love interacting with my stories and they love seeing my posts. So regardless, you have to get past that mindset. And that's something that I did struggle with, but I'm definitely getting a lot better at it.
Love that. Does anybody else want to add anything when you're hearing a lot of no's?
Yeah.
So I will,
Go ahead.
sorry. So I use the business tracker that Kelsey shared a few weeks ago, and I've kind of color coded it. So all my no's are a certain color if they're like a hard no versus like a maybe no, not right now. So just keep a list is basically where that was going. And just keep up with those people and just check in with them. Like if they can't because their mom's having surgery or is sick, just like in a couple weeks checking in like, hey, how's your mom? Hope she's doing okay. And connecting on that friend level.
Yeah, I love that. I've been doing the same thing. Maggie recommended an amazing planner that helps me keep track of all of that too. I have to remember that certain things are going to work for certain people at certain times, because I was absolutely that person who jumped from career to career and didn't know what I wanted for myself, but knew that, coaching for Beachbody looked amazing. But it just felt big and scary at that time. And I just wanted to watch what Maggie and other coaches were doing. And and then maybe hop in once I felt ready. So just staying dedicated to your people who are kind of interested, but still kind of scared, and just rooting for them and rooting for their success, whether they say yes or no. Because if they're going to hop on with you, it's going to be because they feel supported by you. So just continue to support your people because it makes a huge difference. Speaking for somebody who Maggie supported me big time, and I will forever be thankful for her and for her determination with me.
Love that. It's so true. Like, I really just think of coaching as being a professional friend maker, and people take your invite as seriously as you take your consistency. So if you're there for 1 week and disappear, they're never going to trust you, right? Like, you have to show them. So I love that y'all touched on that. Anything else with the nose? Cool, you guys are crushing it. All right, Allie, I figured this question would be good for you, but of course, again, anybody can jump in. One of the biggest things I think we all struggle with, because most of us work full-time outside of coaching, how do you find the balance between family life, your business, work, and then a lot of us are working remotely, which adds another whole layer of things, especially when we have a lot of groups. I'm sure you felt overwhelmed before. Like, how are you finding that balance to make your business work?
So I will be the first to admit that I am guilty of spending a little too much time on my business and checking it too much. I try when I get up in the morning for my workouts, I try and when I'm after I do my personal development before I work out, I try and at least do my follow-ups and some invites. And then I um, do more follow-ups when I'm drying my hair. So I try and just divvy up my time when I'm not doing anything else um, to run the business. Um, I try and avoid scrolling social media too, which is difficult. And like Kelsey said a few weeks ago, that's time you're taking away from time with your kids. So I try and be very deliberate with my time and split it up in that regard.
Love that. I always like the drying the hair, like your arm straight. You're getting an arm workout at the same time. Anyone else want to pop in on that question? Finding balance with your life and the business.
I just want to say something that also came from the Upline podcast was that I felt like tied into routine was you had to decide if this was a hobby or if it was a business. So if you're diving into this and you're like, oh, it's just a hobby, then you're not going to prioritize it into your routine. But the minute you decide this is truly what you want to do and you figure out your why and you jot it down and you're like, I'm showing up every day regardless. I'm going to knock out that one show on Netflix before bedtime and I'm going to do my power hour. You know, you have to decide, is it a hobby or is it a priority? And I say that all the time about working out because people constantly tell me, they're like, I don't have time. I'm like, well, knock out one of your Netflix shows, knock out whatever it is that you're doing that you can knock out, you know, because I know people probably sit around for an hour on their phone or something. So I feel like it just boils down to priorities.
I love that, Autumn. I do that all the time. I'm like, okay, I can only watch the show if I'm doing a power hour because you have like a set time. Once it's done, you better be done. Anyone else want to add anything to this?
Danielle, I'd love to just jump in, and this may be off the cuff, but my name's Megan. I'm under Elena, and one of the things that has helped me tremendously is being able to, on an iPhone, I have an iPhone, so I can't speak to others. Hi, Maggie. But my phone tells me how much time I'm allotting to certain apps, which most of our phones do. And I think that it's a really big reality check when you actually are told how much time you've spent on Facebook or how much you've time spent on Instagram, and you know internally what you're really doing. It's, you know, it's this mindless scrolling. It's this unintentional, you know, stalking and what is this person up to and who did this and who did that, but it's really mindless. And I think that once I joined Beachbody and I was able to see my phone telling me, just jumping right in my face saying, hey, by the way, you spent this many hours on your phone in a day, it really put things into perspective to say, okay, it's already in my hand. It's already in my hand. I'm already looking at the apps that are going to benefit my business. So why do I not make it intentional? So now when I look at my phone and it gives me that breakdown, I'm very much a data person. When it gives me that breakdown, I can then quantify it and say, okay, that's how much time I spent on my business, and I'm able to hold myself accountable or call myself out and say, well, you're full of shit because that is not what you did today. So I just think that's something, if you have a smartphone, which most of us do, if you're able to look at that data and that collection that it's already doing it for you, take a look at it, because it's going to put things into perspective to understand what was intentional and what was mindless. And it's going to really allow you to jumpstart and, like others were saying, figure out if this is a hobby for you or if it's truly a business.
Thank you so much, Megan. Such great tips. It's so true, because that's the difference between coaching, being intentional or scrolling, right? All right, next question. I figured this would be good for Nicole and Caitlin. So what has been the best thing that's helped you re-hit the ground or hit the ground running in your business, coming back, or as a new coach starting as well? Nicole, you want to go first?
I think the biggest thing for me right now, I did just have a call with Natalie, so we're getting on the same page of what I need to be doing in the business because I really haven't done much other than I just shared this week my before and after, and that was kind of crazy because I was like sweating the whole time. I was texting Natalie like, I just posted it. I think I'm gonna throw up. Like, so learning to be vulnerable again has been interesting journey that I'm on. So yeah, I'm just learning how to get it in there. I have my sister signed up right now and she's been killing it. She did muscle burns fat and she's lost 8 pounds. She didn't measure yet, but she did lose 8 pounds in the 3 weeks. So, and she's still doing workouts. And so that's been really awesome to see her journey and she's committing to something. So it's nice to bond with her on that and we're growing together. And my other sister actually just texted me saying she wants to start something out of nowhere. So anywho, I'm excited to just dive back in and get it going.
Love that.
Something that's really helped me get my business going is knowing that you never know who you're going to reach online. And I know for a big part of me, my biggest struggle when coming into coaching was what am I going to share with people? Knowing my whys and being able to communicate that online in a way that's going to reach people. And so like for me, my whys is just loving the skin that God gave you and being able to rock it no matter what it looks like, and communicating with people that loving your body doesn't mean that you think your body looks good. It's loving your body, knowing your body is good. So I just really, really want to like ingrain that in people. And for me, I want to be a foster mom. So building my hitting the ground running means I get to build my business in a way that's going to be able to allow me to stay home for my future babies and have the flexibility to, you know, if we want to go and learn something new for a day, we have the accessibility to get in the car and go. Or if I get a call from the school and they need to be picked up if something happened, I can drop everything and go and get them. So that's something that is incredibly important to me. And so I have a vision board right up here that I look at every day, every morning, and I check off my list one by one. And I try to check off my list. I'm like, okay, that's for my future children. That's for all the women out there who don't love their skin. That's for these people. This is why I do what I do. And that puts a fire under me that no matter what I get done for the day, as long as I'm working towards helping other people love their life, then my business will grow, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people live the lives that they're proud to live.
Whew, did anyone else get chills? But like, when's the last time y'all said your why out loud? And I think Nicole brought up a really great point. Like, getting on the phone with your coach and speaking that why on a regular basis really matters, because it's so easy to get into like, I'm hearing all these no's, nobody's liking my post, you know, like, and then you spiral out of control. And really it's probably you just haven't said your why out loud and like connected to it deeply beyond just, I want to hit Success Club or I want to help people, because that's great, but that's not going to keep you here for 5, 10, 15 years, right? So I love that you shared that, Caitlin. Anyone else want to add anything? Like, what's really helped you hit the ground running?
I also want to add too that me staying consistent with myself has helped building my confidence to finally start to like trust the process and trust that I can say out loud, like, I'm a Beachbody coach. I haven't said that too much. So I feel like since I'm working on myself and I'm seeing the results, I know it's going to pay off. I just have to trust the process. So if you don't take care of yourself, you know, we all know you can't fill other people's cups up. So just keep doing you.
Yeah, I mean, you're always one program away from like your next rock star coach. That's how I think about it. You know, how seriously you take the program you're doing, it's how seriously your team's going to work, and it just ripples out. So I love that. All right, last question. And then if you guys have any others you want to throw in the chat, go for it. So I know, Nicole, this one is rooted towards you, but again, anybody else can hop in. What is something you've overcome in your coaching journey, and what helped you get through it? Whether it's a fear, that mindset, life, any of that good stuff.
This is a deep one. So for me, I mean, mine is all mental. I've got, you know, anxiety at baseline. That's who I've always kind of been. And this helps me push through. I realize how much I need it to, like, I need working out, and I need to be consistent with my diet and have accountability, because if not, I truly like spiral. I'm not a medication person. I'm not the person that's going to go to like therapy every week that works for some people. I'm not that girl. I know I can handle it myself. So, when I hit like rock bottom, basically, I felt like a beach body, and I just like ghosted and ran away. That was tough. And when I reached back out to Natalie, a few months ago, and she was like, you know, you're posting every day, you're like coaching without coaching. I'm like, I know, you know, whatever. And she's like, you should try coaching again. I'm like, I don't know about that. And I was really like standoffish, because I didn't want to let her down again, because I felt like that's what I did initially. And I didn't want to let myself down and say and commit to something, and not have my full trust in it. So over the next few weeks after that, I've been posting more. I've been trusting myself more. I'm staying consistent, so my confidence is growing. So I know that the consistency will be there for my business to grow. But I've seen Natalie do the business. I know it works. And I just feel like you can hit rock bottom and still turn around and be a coach. So basically what Natalie told me is like, you're starting fresh. I'm not even thinking about what happened in the past. I don't hold that over your head. And so I just felt like that was really refreshing to know, like, no one else hates me, I guess, because I quit. Because that's just an anxiety thing, that you replay like all the wrong things you did versus what you did right. So I'm working on it, and it's been good to be back. So another thing I've noticed too is like just working out in general. The confidence that's given me, I tried to do T25 in the past, and I just never felt strong enough for it. And then after those 2 rounds of muscle burns fat and in the advanced version, I'm like killing these T25 workouts. I mean, I'm still dying, but I feel like I'm killing it, because I don't like give up. I can do a burpee, and I'm like, oh girl, you just did 4 burpees. You almost died, but you did it. So anyways, I don't even know if I'm making sense, but I appreciate you guys listening.
It's so true. It's just taking the action, right? Action breeds confidence over time. Sometimes we're looking for this like secret sauce, and it's like, no, just action in anything that you do. Danica, maybe you want to add anything else to this? Because I know the other girls have spoken.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to Nicole, you know, with the anxiety. That's definitely something that I have struggled with for a long time. But just Beachbody in general, and then becoming a coach has helped tremendously with that. It's really crazy, because I didn't think that I would ever be doing something like this. I was always very reserved, and this has just given me the voice that I have wanted for so long. And it is amazing how it has built my confidence. And I'm just so thankful for this community, and for so many reasons. But yeah, so I guess the thing that I have gotten the most from this, though, is just the ability to show others what's possible. Because I did not think that any of this was possible for me. I absolutely had fear of just like workouts in general, like from, you know, scarred past of like, you know, childhood, just things not working out right. And so just what I'm able to do, I amaze myself. And so I it makes me feel like I can inspire others. And so Caitlin, she was so right. Like it's you never know who's watching you, and it's so cool to see who reaches out, because it's the most unexpected people at the most unexpected times, and you just didn't know how much you were impacting them until that moment when they're ready to start their own journey. So
Love that. Anyone else want to add anything? Something you've overcome?
Yeah, I'll add to that. So something I've had to overcome is, for myself, I grew up very, very body conscious. As a young girl, I grew up with a mom who had an eating disorder, so I never learned how to eat, how to love my body, how to be comfortable eating. And there's a lot of things that were triggering to me on the internet. Things I would see, and it would send me spiraling or to a very dark place. And me being a Beachbody coach, I was terrified of putting things out there that triggered other people. So I've had to like take a step back and be like, okay, I have a choice here, and I'm not going to be posting content that triggers people, because what I'm posting is real. What I'm posting is honest things that aren't constricting you, that make your body feel good, that treat your body with respect and love. And I've had to overcome my just fear of also putting myself back in that place, but also just opening like an honest space where people can come and be like, yeah, I struggle with that, and you struggle with that? Cool. How do I even get past this? So like going back on, you never know who's watching. Like I've spoken pretty publicly about the fact that I didn't respect my body and that I had no idea how to eat. And now like these nutrition programs are blessing my body and teaching me how to nourish myself, which I had no idea how to do before. And doing workouts that are 30 minutes long that my family enjoys doing with me, where I'm not working out for 2 hours and have no time for myself for the rest of the day. So just pushing past your fears of what could go wrong, and just completely immersing yourself in what can go right and what can blossom from your business.
Love that. Your social media is your platform to talk about whatever you want to connect with your people about, like it's a gift. It's free, right? You can talk about anything. So I love that. Any other questions? If you guys want to just unmute yourself and rapid fire them for like maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. Don't be bashful. You got them on the spot. These are all rock stars. Or you can throw it in.
Question. I think one of the things a lot of coaches here, especially your growing teams, always ask other leaders is like, what's your coach getting started right process, and what do you do with a new coach? And I want to hear from you guys who are seeing success. Like, either is there something that your coach did from the beginning that you think was really helpful, or is there, from your experience, you see, hey, I think this is where the focus needs to be from the beginning, and maybe that's Success Club, maybe it's sharing your first post or transformation. I just want to hear from you guys, like, what you think from your experience is most critical for that.
Well, I know Allie's brought on a new coach, so I don't know if y'all have any other new coaches. Can you speak to it, Allie?
Yeah, so I think just being, I don't want to say persistent, but just kind of planting that seed early. Like with the girl like Hannah that I brought on from the get-go. She had lots of issues with anxiety and depression with her little ones. And just kind of connecting with her on that, and just planting the seed like, hey, you can share this with other girls, like you can do this. And so that has kind of been the best way, is just connecting on what you have in common with that person and what they could use in their coaching journey. But for me personally, I would say what's pushed me the most in my success as a coach is my goals, like I said, for Success Club.
Maybe from a challenger perspective, like, are y'all plugging your people? Maybe this is a better way to phrase it. Are you plugging your people into your coaches groups? Are you doing stuff on your own? Like, what are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I gotcha. Sorry. So I have a message pod with all of my challengers. And I check in. So I have a list of who's doing what program and when they end the program. And just keep up like so like on Tuesdays, I have a list of girls I reach out to. So I text them or chat with them and say like, hey, how's 10 rounds going? How's Shakeology, et cetera, et cetera. So I make sure I check in. But the message pod's been helpful and they all chat about their journeys too.
Something else Maggie was saying is like, was there training materials that helped y'all? There's something that your coach helped you do? Go for it, Danica.
Yeah, so Jess was very organized with having a Google Classroom that literally has everything just mapped out in there that you can to access. And for me, that was just perfect because when I jump into something, I want to take in all the information at once. And so for me, it was perfect. And it gave me all the tools I needed from the get-go to jump in and be able to share my own journey, which I had already been doing to some extent, but it was, sharing, my first real transformation picture was a big deal. And, getting to, sharing that I was coaching, that was also a big part of it. I've also kind of created my own separate, I have my challengers in the BOD group, of course, but then I also have separate, like a separate chat thread with them where we post a GIF, if we're after workouts, and just try to connect with them regularly. Like Ali was saying, just have a consistent schedule of checking in with them, even if it's not about their workouts, even if it's about their personal life, just so that they know that I'm there for them no matter what, and supporting their journey.
Anyone else want to share what helped y'all get started right as a coach? Sorry, clarifying.
So go ahead. I'll jump in after.
I just want to say that as soon as I started, Mackenzie threw me right into our FB groups, Transformation Nation, and there's units in there. So I went on to the units, and actually one of the things that I did too is I went to her Instagram and I found her Linktree, and I said, oh, I want a Linktree. So I made a Linktree, and then I saw her emails and I looked at the bottom of her emails. I have a major in criminology, so I tell you, I was diving deep. And I saw that she used Flowdesk, so I created a Flowdesk, and then I went back into the units and I saw that was actually a unit. So the units helped me, and going into her profile, and then I actually took months trying to decide if I actually wanted to be a coach. So I was looking at different coaches as well, just getting inspiration from them to see if I wanted to do this. And so I just kind of looked through them and just followed the units on the pages.
Yeah, I'm the same way, where I want all the information as soon as possible, all in one place to look. So Maggie plugging me into Level Up Your Life. I spent 2 days immersed in that, doing all of my trackers, watching all the videos, learning every detail about everything that I could, so that I felt confident posting about it. Because I was really insecure about posting about something that I didn't really know much about. So with a new coach that I signed up, I gave her all the information we jumped on a call first, and I was like, okay, we're going to set a goal for you this week. What do you see for yourself? And then just really having that open conversation and like getting those goals set up. I do that with all my challengers too, is on a Monday we set our goals, and then I check in with them a few times a week to make sure that they're staying on that, and their monthly goals and their yearly goals. And I just want them to know I'm on their team. And I know Maggie, they have a call that they hop on at 6 a.m., which is my 3 a.m. So not on that one. So I started my own with my coach, and then I invited my challengers to where from 6 a.m. on our time, we hop on. That just so you know that they have that accountability, and just creating things that that are going to invite people and make them feel comfortable joining your team and that they're being supported.
Anyone else want to add anything? What helped you get started?
I just have a question for Caitlin. You said you check in 3 times a week. Do you check in just in your group, or do you like do separate text or something?
So everybody I have signed up currently, I know. So I personally don't have anybody who I've never met face to face before. So I have everybody's number who I've signed up. So we talk regularly anyway. So I just text them like throughout the week, like a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I do it that way.
Any other questions, y'all? I think the biggest thing is it doesn't matter how long you've been a coach or where you're at in your business. You can decide today, like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. Like, start a program, set your alarm for tomorrow morning, get your booty on the Zoom workout, do your work, do your workout. And I think the biggest thing that I know all of them do, because I've seen their faces, is they get on the team calls every week. And none of y'all said that, but I think they frequently plug in to what's going on here. So surround yourself with people that have what you want, because there's magic to that, and you can't do this business alone. So I thank y'all for sharing your hearts tonight. And if you guys do have any other specific questions that you want to know more about, I will add the photo to the album with the recording tonight. And y'all rock. Next week, Jess Gill will be speaking, and then we have Nat and Bob Heilig coming up. So some big things coming for y'all. Kick butt. Don't you dare give up on your goals, and hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.